Hey. Hi, this is Tanya from Love Buddha Tarot. I tried to get on a little bit earlier and for some reason it wouldn't go live. So I am live now. It's only briefly. So I'll wait until some people come in. I have some new cards and I wanted to test them out a little bit. Or really I wanted to just give something away. So it's like I say, if anybody does want Tatiana, hi. Yeah, I just wanted to try these cards out. There's a lovely, lovely story connected to them, and I just wanted to share it before I get down to work today. Hi, Just Learning. Hi, Happy Divine Guidance. Hi, there's people coming in the room there. Okay, so that's great. I'm just waiting for more people. How are you this Saturday? Hey, Magic. Hey, Jess. Hi, beautiful Tanya. How are you all doing this morning from Orlando? I was just going to say there, Divine, where are you all at? That's what I was going to ask, because it's always interesting to know. And because this isn't a proper read, I can do this. Hungover. I was a little bit yesterday. I don't know if any of you seen on my Instagram. It was my friend's birthday, and one of our other friends invited us to their house. And God, I've never seen anything like it. It was paradise. And I slept outside and I woke up with views right over the island, the sea, the forest, everything. I was up a mountain. It was heaven. Oh, thank you. Bucharest. Oh, wow. That is on my daughter's astrocartography. It said that she will do really well in Bucharest, so she's going to try it out. So you're in London, Australia. Been feeling the energies very heavy. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'll talk a little bit about that. I've pulled some cards, some oracle cards for the weekly energies, and I'm going to have a look at them, which are quite interesting. But yeah, this Aries moon has been a funny, and I know a lot of people that have been heavily affected for it. Touch wood, I've kind of glided through it, which is strange. The Virgo moon was very, very intense for me, but this Aries one has been, more determination than anything. It's been very common, but there has been a lot of conflict, a lot of chaos. There's a lot of people, and I did say during this moon that it was going to be, do we have our ego or do we use that fuel for determination? And I think this is how it's been affecting people, but it's gradually going out. So don't worry about this. Don't worry about it. You were affected badly on you, Jess. Yeah, a lot of people have been. I've kind of seen it pan out. And like I say, we always need to know that these are for us. The moon's energy. The moon it's like grandmother moon, isn't it? And she's looking after us. She has a lot of knowledge that she tries to give us, and if we don't listen, then sometimes it can be hard for us. So really try and look at what the gift is that you've been getting within this, okay, rather than this, why is this happening to you? Are you working on a dream catcher? Oh, fantastic. Right, okay, so I'm going to get going there. We've got quite a few in the room. I'm like I say, I'm not going to be on for long, but I am going to be doing a few free readings with these new cards that I have, and I'll tell you the story as well. So yeah, so first of all, I just want to say that the offer that is on the website, the New Look website, if anybody hasn't seen it yet, it's lovebuddhatarot.com. And there's 15% off all readings until the 1st of October. So we've got 2 days left of that. So if anybody does want a reading there, there's also the Aries full moon offer on as well, because I'm going to be going missing for a little bit. I'm going to do the October monthlies over this weekend. I'm not going out. I'm saving that this weekend to do that. But I'm going back to England. So I'm going back to England a week today. So what I'm going to do for next week, I'm going to open up some extra time in my calendar, in my schedule, so that if people do want a reading, they can get it, because pretty much the whole of October, I'm going to be, after next Friday, the 5th, I am not going to be available October, because I have to go back to England. I have to pack all of my house up and everything. I have to find my daughter somewhere to live. I have to bring Hendrix back over here. So October is going to be a very, very busy month for me. So I can't promise that I can actually do any work during that. So like I say, I'm just going to, that's it, take the rest of October off. So if anybody does want a reading, then, please book in, use that offer as well. And I can read for you before I go away. As of next Friday, that's it. I can't do any. Okay, so it sounds exciting. It sounds pretty scary to me, Jess, when I'm just sitting this morning thinking of everything I have to do. Yes, I finally sold the house. I have. I've known about it for a while, but not tempting fate. But yeah, everything, because searches are all back, mortgage offers in place, and everything. So it's great. And like I say, it's a big move. It's going to be a very, very emotional one for me as well. This is 10 years of fighting, 10 years of struggle. So it's going to be a bit hit or miss. It's exactly what I've wanted. It's a weight off my shoulders, but I know that this is going to be a hard thing. And it's like I say, it's the last place my mum will ever visit, where I am. And funny enough, yesterday I went to sleep for a couple of hours because I was done in, like I say, a little bit hungover, and Spirit started talking to me, and they said that I need to bring the last of our ashes. I've got a few of them, and they said you need to bring them over and put them in the sea and give them to Tanit and sing while you're doing it. So yeah, that was nice. I got a little bit emotional with it, but I know that I've got the people there holding my back. So yeah, this is the last thing, and it's time to move on. This is it. It's time to move on and let go. So it's great. So yeah, so it's going to be mental because I'm going to be like, I don't know where to go. I'm not going to have a house in England anymore or whatever. So it's great. But thank you for the congratulations. And yeah, it is. This is where I really start living. It's finally cutting all of the ties to the past, and this is what I practice. Where in Ibiza am I? I'm in a place called San Carlos. I'm in the northeast, which is, I was from the northeast in the UK, but yeah, I'm in the north, and it's the original town that all of the hippies came to. It's got a very hippie feel and everything like that, and I love it. I had to go down last week down into the main Ibiza town, and this island isn't very big, but when I seen it, it was like, oh, there's people and there's concrete and there's stuff like that. So I don't know what I'm going to be like going back to England, to be honest. And I think the temperature and everything, I can't wait to see my friends. I'm really, really looking forward to them and seeing my daughter. But yeah, it's kind of the fact that I know I'm coming back is good. So, right. So, like I say, if anybody does want to read next week, and then after that, I'm not going to be available until probably November. Okay. So, right. Okay. So, weekly energies, just quickly. I just pulled a few oracle cards here to see. I'm going to pull some tarot to go with it. They're saying to me, yeah, I knew that as soon as I got on, I knew they would have me working hard. Looking forward to visit one day soon. Yeah, I think everybody should come to Ibiza. Some people call it Ibiza. It's on the signpost. It's Ibiza, but it's Ibiza. And Nostradamus actually predicted that when the Armageddon comes and when the end of the world comes, that Ibiza will be the only place left standing. So it's very, very magical. So I love it. Comes to the south coast. I've got a spare room. Where's that? The south coast in England, America, or where? I would love to do that. I really, really would. I was thinking about this. I was talking about this to a friend the other week, and I was saying, I would love to do like a Love Buddha on tour or something, and just come over and meet you all and do the lives from all there. But like I say, it's that is. But dreams do come true. My friend whose house I went to at the weekend, it's during the week, was absolutely beautiful, and when you walk into his house, it's so wonderful. If anybody on my Instagram will have seen the videos that I put on, and he has engraved in the stone, proper engraved, like old school, and nothing is impossible. And so like I say, anything is impossible. You looked familiar. Right, okay, I looked familiar. Right, okay, so I'm pulling some cards here as well. So what I'm getting for the weekly energies, okay? So this is for the week, and this is in general. It's not for a particular star sign. The first one we have is time for a nap, okay? It's the Colette Baron Reid cards, and I love these cards. I love Colette Baron Reid. She's amazing. And this card is saying, it's time to rest, okay? We have been put through the mill the last couple of months, I feel, and we've been on constant, constant fight mode, constant defense mode. So I keep going like a Duracell bunny. Anybody from England will know that. Like a Duracell bunny, it's keep going, keep going, keep going. And what it's saying now is take some rest. Take some time out, okay? Allow yourself to sleep. Get yourself somewhere where you feel cozy, where you feel safe, okay? And just sleep, rest, recharge, watch movies, spend time with loved ones, anything that you don't normally do that life gets in the way of doing, okay? Because I really feel there's still some work to do, but it's almost like saying, this is a pit stop for you, okay? Please take heed of it. If you're doing a long journey, okay, and you're traveling down country, which I may have to do. I may have to drive back over here, and I don't know. It's a 26-hour drive, and I don't know whether I'm going to do it yet. But if I do, I cannot do that 26-hour drive straight away. I can't do it. I've got to keep stopping, and I've got to use that time for rest, okay? So this is what it's saying to you. Take some time for rest. Take some time to look at your dreams as well and see how they've changed this year. I feel this is what they're saying to me. So it's like I say, it's almost like we aren't the same people that we were at the beginning of the year. So, like I said, this is it, and see if you're still on course, are you still on course to where you were heading, or have you just forgot the destination and just been carrying on like regardless? If you have, then change course, but take this time to rest and to plan. We then have serendipity, which I love this. I don't know if any of you have a link with Island, but I've just got Island coming in there. Island, or it could be this island, right? Okay, it could be this island, is said. But so what this is saying is it's almost like surrender to the gods. I had a thing the other day now, and sorry, I'm going off on one, but this is explaining what I'm saying. So this is it. Surrender it up to the gods. Surrender it up to fate, okay? Fate is on your side here. And the more we try and control an outcome, we can often stop what we're wanting to actually come to us as well, Sorry, I'm just going to delete somebody there that's writing it. It's all, I don't know how this user. There you go. Yeah. So last week I was sitting and I'm worrying about this house move. I mean, it's a big thing, I've got like 45 years of stuff in that house, that I need to find places for. I've only got a small room here, so I kind of bring it all over. So it's a real, the logistics of it was starting to, I'm not the most practical person, even though I'm a Virgo, and it was getting in my head. So I spoke to my cousin and she said, look, you haven't got a date for the move. You don't even know if it's really going through, but come home. Come home, pack everything up. At least then you're doing something productive with this. And then, when the time arises, you're ready. Even if you've got to leave the key with me and go back, we can sort it. And I thought, yeah, that's cool. That's cool. So I came back. I booked the flight. And within 10 minutes, I got a phone call from the estate agent to say everything is going through. So it's almost like once I'd started to do what I could, then the rest just followed. And the words I got were, take one step towards the gods and they will take 100 steps towards you. And this is what I feel with this, okay? It's not about you, really, really taking action. As they've said, it's time to take a rest, okay? But it's almost do what you can before you rest and then say, right, okay, I've done my bit. And then wait for what the universe, the fates, whatever. Because it's almost like the universe has a bigger plan for you and they're working behind the scenes. So we might think nothing's happening, but it is. But it's almost like they're waiting for us to say, are you ready? Are you rested enough? Because this is going to be a big move, and I feel for a lot of us on a metaphorical place as well, so it's like I say, this is it, wait for the universe, ask the universe for what you want, and then wait to see them deliver, and be open to however they're delivering it, because sometimes they might not deliver us in the way that we want it to, but they might give us it in the way that we need to. Sometimes it can be a harsh lesson, sometimes it can be staring us right in front of the face and we don't know that. So it's about relinquishing control here, okay? And allowing any burdens or responsibilities or whatever, just put them down for a bit. They're getting too heavy. Heavy? Who's heavy? I don't know who's heavy. Heavy. They're getting too heavy. Right. Okay. That was interesting. So this is why they're telling you to take a break, relinquish control, because they kind of have a plan for you as well. What they're saying here as well is they're saying that if something is constantly eluding you, okay, why go chasing after it? If something is not working in the way that you want it to work, it might be that is not for you, okay? So it's saying really have a look in your life. What is coming to you easily? What is flowing? When things are flowing to you, that is because you are in the flow. You're following Spirit's guidance. You're following their signs, okay? If you keep coming up against dead end like that all of the time, you've got to stand back and say, is this the way to go? If you're knocking on the door, knocking on somebody's door, and they're not answering, then you don't sit there and wait until they come back. You kind of think, all right, they're not in, and you move on. And this is what this is saying, okay? So there is something I feel that has come to a bit of a checkmate, okay? This is what they're saying. It's almost like in chess, where you can't move. Nobody can move and nothing is happening. So that's it. It's the game over. So I feel there could be something this week where it's like, you know what? Game over. There isn't anything more I can do, and this may not be the best for me when I actually look at it. And this is why I think they said before about have a look at the direction you started off in this year, because I feel there's been some massive changes and you have changed, and it's almost see if you still want that end goal, and if that now doesn't kind of fit, my goal was always to move to Andalusia. The reason I said Andalusia was because it had this really chilled, laid back, like sort of hippie vibe as well, and I wanted that type of community, and I was very, very close to Ibiza, and some Spirit, with their serendipity, Spirit got me here. And now they can't get rid of me, or they won't let me go, So this is it. I had my plan, and my plan was similar, but it was not the same. And I got diverted, but I got diverted because there was so much more for me, And if I had have looked every time I was trying to do something to go to Andalusia, it was stopping me. It wasn't working, And then I kind of had to think, right, okay, I've got to go with the flow here. So that is the energy that I'm coming out here. And I do feel that coming into October, it's almost like we have to sacrifice something, but this is for our greater good, okay? And we have to sacrifice something, we have to think about it, and we really need to trust the heavens and say, right, okay, I'm trusting you to have my back. Okay, so it's almost like we need to get out of our own way. This is what I think. Oh, Nicole, thank you so much for that. So right, yeah, it's like I feel Spirit have a surprise for you. Yeah, it's 1 p.m. in Spain. It's 1 p.m. where I am as well, Linda. So, right, okay, this is where I'm going to do these free readings. Now, they're different to how I normally read, okay, because I'm going to read the book, but I just wanted to share these with you as well, okay? So, and like I say, remember, if anybody, for the ones that have just come in, if anybody wants a personal reading with me, I will only be available next week, and then I'm taking the rest of October off because I have a lot of things to sort out. But there is an offer on until the 1st of October where you get 15% off any reading, and there is the Aries full moon offer on as well. So like I say, people can get them if they want. Hector the Inspector. Hector was my first ever. I had a teddy bear called Hector, and it was a dog, and I carried it everywhere with me from being really small. And on the first day I went to nursery, they said that Hector couldn't come with me, and I sobbed and I cried because Hector was going to be all alone in the house. So that made me laugh there. Yeah, it's been a tough week. It's starting to, as Tuesday, Wednesday, we should see a shift in it, Maureen. So, right, these cards that I have, they're very different to what I would normally like, different to the artwork and everything, and they're called Aboriginal Dreamtime, okay, and they're oracle cards. And what happened, the spiritual shop that I go to on the island that is owned by my friend who I'm going to be living with, so I'm so excited. I stayed there last night. I woke up to the kids this morning. They jumped on my bed and the dogs and everything and sat and watched cartoons. And I'm like, God, I'm going to love this life. So, yes, she has this shop and she has these in the shop. And this particular deck is open so that people can use them when they come in the shop. You know, we sit and we just pull a card or whatever. And every time I pick these cards up, every message has been so on point for me. Whatever's been going on in my life, you know, like I say, visually, they're not what I would normally go for. But every time I have picked one of these cards, they have a little fable with them. And the fable and the message has been so on point. So I said, I want those cards. When I can afford it, I'm going to buy those cards. And she said, oh, I've got a few decks of them. And I said, no, I want them cards, like that particular deck. That was what I wanted. Because the energy with these were absolutely amazing. You know, it was, I've used them in circles that I've done there as well, you know, and like I say, they resonated with everybody. So just last week, I was in the shop and I pulled one of the cards and I said, you know, I said, God, I really, really want this deck. I can't wait to come back from England because I want this deck. If anybody comes in to buy it in the meantime, please don't let them buy it because I want this energetic deck. And one of my other friends was there and she said, what deck are you talking about? And I said, yeah, this one. And she came running over, put the lid on the box and give me it. And she said, there you go, it's yours. And what she'd done, she'd heard me mention a deck, but she didn't know which deck it was. So she had actually paid for a deck to my other friend and said, when you find out which deck it is Tanya wants, please will you give her it? Because I want to pay for it and I want to give her that gift for you. So I was literally speechless and she was so happy that, you know, that she was there and seeing how much I enjoyed it and happy. So it was, yes. So that is the beautiful story about this deck. When she said, I'll send you the money. Bless Miranda. So yeah, beautiful, beautiful gesture from a beautiful, beautiful woman, you know, who I'm very blessed to have in my life. So yeah, I just wanted to share that a little bit. I share a lot of my life with you, you know, and I know some people don't like it, but hey, you know, this is how I work. Right, okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull a few of these for people, okay, and see... Right, I'm going to pull this one for Miranda. So Miranda, this one is for you, okay? Just because you had that lovely thought and, you know, I always like to give back. So for Miranda, please, for Miranda, could we have a message for Miranda? Right, okay. Right, okay. So like I say, I'm going to read from the book with these. Right. Okay, so the one you got is here. Look at that card. It's beautiful. It's got a key in it as well. And what this says is wondrous opportunities. Back at the time when the animals were just created, they gathered together to decide on what each of their roles would be. Each animal thought about it for a while and one by one returned to the group to discuss their thoughts and decisions. The kookaburra said he wanted to spread happiness and decided his role was to laugh loudly to remind the other animals of the joys of being alive. The crocodile said his role was to be scary and to keep the children away from the water so that they wouldn't accidentally drown. The tiny sugar ant waited until last to speak because he had no idea how he could be helpful, as he was always too busy eating the dead foliage on the ground while searching for his beloved nectar. All the other animals laughed warmly and told the tiny sugar ant how important it was to clean up the debris in the bush and that he was the perfect animal to do so. At the end of the day, all the animals agreed that the key to creating a balanced and harmonious environment was for everyone to work together. So the message with this, Miranda, is you feel confident working on your own. This way you can create unique opportunities which are highly beneficial to you. In your quest to work alone, you miss out on the creativity and relationships that occur when you work with others. This is a great time to reconsider your reclusiveness and seek the company of others. On this occasion, there is a lot to be gained regarding the sharing of information and skills. So I don't know if your nickname is Ant. That's funny. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but that was your message that came through with this. So I love the little stories with them as well, because I'm visual. I see the stories in my head all the time. So right, okay. So like I say, if you would like a card, please. Right, the Scattered Mystic. Should I let my son's friend move in with my family? I'm struggling with a decision. Right, okay, Scattered Mystic, I'm going to pull a card for you. Like I say, this is not me using my intuition or anything like that. This is just pulling these cards, and they have worked out spot on for me in the past, okay? So this is for the Scattered Mystic. Scattered Mystic, please. Scattered Mystic, right. Daddery. I don't know what that means, but it's daddery. So I'll read this message for you. They're so different, these cards, but I do love them. I really do. Right, okay. This might make sense. So it says, once there were two mobs, and whilst they were neighbours, both mobs always fought with each other. The feuding had been going on for so long that no one really knew why they were fighting anymore, but still they continued. One day, the wise man of one of the mobs saw in his mind a great rain that would flood the rivers and would drown all the mobs if they stayed where they were. A council of elders gathered and the information was shared. At first, the other mob thought it was a trick because there was only one area of high ground in the area that would mean that both mobs would have to share the area and live together. Eventually, after much persuasion, both mobs reluctantly moved together to higher ground. In the days that followed, the rain began to fall and did not stop for one whole month. During this time, the rivers rose quickly and inundated the camps where they had previously lived and washed away any trace that they had lived there. Over the days and weeks that followed, both mobs were grateful that they had been saved from the river. The mob now lived as one and formed a council of elders to lead them and teach them, and after many generations, they finally understood the wisdom of listening. And your message with this is, in life we find ourselves influenced by what one person says and forget that theirs is only one of many stories. Often we need someone brave enough to step up and end a situation that has been dragging on and has lost all meaning and purpose to the original issue. It's your turn to step up to the plate. It may be challenging, but you can end it here and now because they will listen to you. So I would say with that, the answer to your question, I don't know what you think, Scattered Mystic, but I would say that that is a yes. I don't know if there's been conflict or whatever regarding this family, but I feel that would be maybe speaking to the family, taking the person in and speaking to the family as well and trying to, sort of build bridges kind of thing. I don't know if that makes sense to you, Scattered Mystic. Please let me know. Right, okay, so who can I have? Yes, I agree, thank you. So that made sense there, Scattered Mystic, yeah? Right, so who have we got? Just Learning, here you go, there's a one here for Just Learning. This is for you, Just Learning. Right, I'm going to do these for 40 minutes and then I'm going to go and get the October monthlies one. Right, Just Learning. What a beautiful, beautiful card you have there. That really reminds me of a little place I was in Thailand there. Hit me. Right, okay. Has everybody been on my new website as well, lovebuddhatarot.com? I love it. I really, really love it. I'm so excited with it. Right, okay, so this is for Just Learning. And it says, in the dream time, the trees spoke as we do today. They had their own language and could easily talk to each other. And this was important because when the bad weather would come, trees would whisper to each other and warn of impending weather. Some trees like to reach high in the sky and would grow tall to reach for the sun's warmth, while others like the shade under the protection of the big, tall trees. There was a small group of younger trees who were always competing against each other to grow the biggest, the tallest, and the strongest. Sometimes the competition to grow was so fierce that they would neglect their duties to pass on messages to the other trees. One day, whilst they were busy growing and competing, they all neglected to pass on the message of a big storm that was heading in their direction. When the storm came, all the little flowers who depended on the protection of the large tall tree did not have time to close and protect themselves. As a result, the little flowers died and were never able to grow again. And from then on, the trees took their responsibilities seriously to protect the smaller flowers. The message with this is, don't trust Chinese whispers. What you are hearing is not what was originally said, and others have added their own version and biases to the story. It's not intentional, but what you need to do is to get the information and to get the truth directly from the source. When you take this step, you will be relieved to find that things are not quite as bad as you thought. So I don't know. I don't know if that makes sense to you as well. But I think these are just lovely stories for people, aren't they? You know, I really, really like them. So did that make sense, just learning? Oh, thank you, Brendy. So your new website, love the artwork. I've done the artwork myself. That's why I'm pretty pleased with it. It's a long time since I've actually done my art, but that's what I was. That's what my degree is, fine art and art history. So, right, okay, my chat's gone off there. My chat's gone off. I'm going to do another 2, I think. Just learning. I was going to ask about communicating with my spirit guides, and that makes perfect sense. Right, okay. Right. Good night, Irene. A card for my daughter, and it would be great, please. Good night, Irene. Was my grandma was my nana. She was my nana. She wasn't my grandma. She was Irene, and she used to sing that song when she was drunk. She used to sing that and "Come On, Eileen," but she would change it to Irene as well. So, yeah. Good night, Irene. So this one is for good night, Irene. Okay, so this is good night, Irene. A card for good night, Irene, please. Right. There's all enough woman's wisdom, and I think my nana was one of the most wise women I've ever. She loved a laugh and loved a party, and she was nearly 90-year-old when she died, and she could still kick a height, and that was what she was proud of. Yeah, my nana Irene, God, what a woman. Yeah, so this is woman's wisdom for you. Good night, Irene. And bizarrely enough, right, okay, so the first words, these are just new, these cards, so I'm learning them here. So what this says is, wow. The grandmother talks softly to her granddaughter, and she gently holds her in a loving embrace. The old woman sees the special qualities in her granddaughter, the qualities that are needed for her to pass down the knowledge and wisdom which was passed down to her by her grandmother. She shares dreamtime stories with her granddaughter, helping her to understand the lore that is embedded in these stories. As the years pass by, the older woman imparts her herbal knowledge to her granddaughter, and she becomes confident in her abilities to heal the mob when they are sick. She learns to develop her intuition, which increases the depth of her wisdom, and in time will become the wise woman of the mob. Eventually, the old woman says her final goodbyes to this world and passes to her next life, knowing that the well-being of the mob will be in the safe hands of this new wise woman, her beloved granddaughter. Sorry, I'm getting so emotional reading this. Sometimes it's easy to think that everyone else seems to be the expert in your life, and it gets confusing as you feel obligated to listen to everyone. On some occasions, there are people whom you should trust, and there is someone who is advising you at the moment that is worth listening to. They are knowledgeable regarding the subject, and they also have your best interest at heart. I hope that makes sense. Good night, Irene. I hope I didn't hijack that reading, because I really, really felt that. And yeah, when my nana passed, the last time I seen her, she had my hand and said to me, she said, I'm tired, I want to go now. And she always used to read me Peter Pan. She always read me stories. And I said, where do you want to go? And she said, I don't know. And I said, well, second store on the right and straight on till morning. You know, that's where you go, Nana. And she held my hand and she said, you're different, Tanya. Please don't let them change you when I'm gone. And, you know, that really hit home there. So thank you. Good night, Irene, for giving me a little bit something there. I mean, tears listening. Yeah, me too. Good night, Irene. But nice tears, happy tears. And how bizarre that, you know, that was that one that came out. Right, okay. So I think I'm going to do, 2 more. I said I would do for 40 minutes, and then I'm going to have to get... Right, okay. I'm really looking forward to doing the October monthlies. I'm really looking forward to seeing what the energy, because they haven't been giving me anything yet until I start to work. Right. Yeah, that card was definitely for me too as well, you know. Yeah, my Nana Irene. Right, okay, so right. These cards are not for other people, okay? I feel the messages within these cards a lot of times, and I just want to say this to people, and I'm not being nasty to anybody, because I know people are asking, you know, for other stuff and when they're in relationships and things like that, okay? But what I feel and what my readings are always based on is, you know, we can't control anybody else. What we need to realize is that everybody else is on their own journey, and we are only responsible for ours, you know? And if we are constantly look at how we can do something to make somebody else's life better, we are missing that opportunity to see how we can navigate better through something that can be a little bit uncomfortable, if that makes sense. So I hope that makes sense. So my readings tend to focus on you and what can you do to make it better. And I feel these cards as well are very personal messages, okay? So these are not for other people, these are for you. And again, reading about other people, it's kind of getting into I don't have their permission for it. You know, I've said this before, people were messaging me, asking me if I was going to read for Harry and Meghan when they got married. And I was like, no, you know, when Harry and Meghan get in touch with me to read for them, then I'll read. So right, my chat keeps going off, so I cannot see who's here. Right, okay, so who do we have here? Who do we have? Gemini Princess. This one is for you, I feel. Right, okay, Gemini Princess. You have a beautiful card here. So the card you have there is internal strength. And the message with the story with this is, there was a baby wombat who often dawdled behind, always being distracted by one thing or another. One day, as usual, he was slowly meandering his way through the bush, not making much effort to keep up with his mum, when a strong wind came and blew down a massive tree which blocked his way and separated him from his mother. He cried for his mother, but all they could do was yell across the large expanse of the tree which separated them. The little wombat was so determined that he began to dig. He was good at digging, and he knew that this was the only way of getting to his mum. As fast as he would dig, big rocks would block his way. However, through his determination, he would just start digging in a different direction. For days he dug, still calling to his mother to make sure she hadn't left him. Eventually, he dug an entire tunnel and was reunited with his mother on the other side. From this day forward, he no longer dawdled and always kept his mum in sight. So the message that comes with this is, find your inner strength, believe in yourself, and work through the situation. Sometimes you do not realize how much power you have, and if you are not careful, you can end up destroying everything in your path. Look at alternatives around this issue. They are there if you just look at other ways to solve the problem. So I don't know if that makes sense, Gemini Princess. I don't know. Right, okay, Queen Jolie. I need a job and an apartment in 1 month. Will it happen? If you are determined with it, I think if you take the message from that last reading. You know, it's anything is possible, you know, if you actually believe it. If you just sit around waiting for it to happen, it's not going to, you know, but anything is possible. Things can change in a day. Okay. So like I say, don't worry too much about it. Just believe that you're going to do it. Right. Okay. So have a car. Lynette Williams, I'm loving hearing you reading about the Aussie animals. Yeah, well, this one's for you, Lynette, okay? This one's for you. So Lynette Williams. Right, okay, we've already had that one. I'm going to pull another one for you. That was the woman's wisdom. Right, okay. Lynette. Right, okay. So Lynette, this is a beautiful card for you. I really, really like this one, and it's called Seasons Change. And let's see what the story is with this. Right, okay. I don't know if this is going to make sense to you. It says, in the dream time, the young black swan spent many hours a day preening himself to ensure that his handsome black feathers were shiny and bright. All the other swans thought him vain and had no time for him, so his life was somewhat lonely. After being mocked by his family and friends, he decided to go walk about and travel the land. On his travels, he met a duckling. She was still grown and was at an awkward stage and hadn't yet developed into a swan. She fell in love with the handsome swan, but her feelings were not reciprocated, as he had ideas of having a mate that was as beautiful as him. He went on his way, leaving her behind with a broken heart. A year later, the handsome swan returned to find the most beautiful swan he had ever seen float aimlessly on the pond. He realized that this was the duckling from last year and that she had indeed grown into a beautiful swan, but had also found herself a new mate. This time, it was he who left the pond with a broken heart. Realizing that his vanity had cost him the love of this beautiful swan, he was never able to find another partner for the rest of his life. And the message that comes with this is, as we grow, our relationships change, and we need to adapt to the change or risk being left behind or even losing them. It's not always easy. If change is what your relationships need right now, then consider the challenge as an investment in your future, remembering that sometimes leaving a relationship may be the challenge you have to face, whether to stay or whether to go. If you integrate some changes now, it may avert heartache later. So I don't know if that makes sense to you, Lynette, but I love the story anyway. I pulled that one day and it really made sense to me. It made me laugh out loud, actually. Right. Okay, Jamie, I'm sorry. I'm not allowed by law. I'm not allowed to talk about illness, pregnancy, anything like that. So by law, I can't talk about health. Okay. So I'm really, really sorry about that, Jamie. But like I say, don't worry about it, because, you know, if you're going in for major surgery, you're going to have the best surgeons that do this all of the time. Okay, so please don't worry. And yeah, you know, getting yourself in a stress state before surgery is natural, but try and relax through it and breathe through it as well. And that is, you know, that is going to help you, because, you know, if we're stressed, we tense up. Okay, you need to be flowing so that everything flows as well properly. Okay, so right, what am I going to do now? Right, I'm going to pull a spirit card. I hope you like them Aborigine cards. It was, like I say, it was Saturday morning. It was just a little bit, I think. Right, okay. Right, Jonna, maybe look at the beginning of this message where I was talking about if you're having to fight for something, then sometimes it might not be yours. I don't know about your situation particularly, but you know, it's like I say, you know, if somebody wants to commit, they will. Okay, it doesn't matter. If you're trying to force them, then it's not actually coming from the heart. So yeah, I'm pleased you like them ones, just learning. I do. I just, that's been fun today. I've enjoyed it. Right, so I'm going to pull a spirit card for the end of the reading, and this is for to go with the weekly energies. Whoa, well, I'm not. Spirit are going to pull one, I think. Like I said, we just need to rest. We need to sleep. We need to, you know, let the universe do its thing. Okay. And the card that has just come flying out, as you've seen there, look at that, the lady is sleeping, but it says dreaming of you. And what it says is someone you love will appear to you in your dreams. They reflect a part of you, a time of remembrance, a time of reflection, and a time of healing. Okay? So it's almost like I feel spirit need you to get into this place of rest so that you can receive. Okay? This is what they're saying. When you are resting, you can receive. When you are busy and distracted, you can't get the messages that they're trying to send you, okay? And a lot of times they send us messages in our dreams. Now, last night was strange. I stayed at a friend's house and there was a few of us there, and two of us got up this morning and we both had the same dream, which was very, very significant as well, So, like I say, it's when we shut down and when we surrender, this is when spirit can help us. So we may be asking for their help all of the time. They're like, please help me, show me signs. And they're like, whoa, slow down a little bit, chill. When you chill, that is when we can come through with the messages and you can get them, So yeah, I like that. So I think October is going to be a good month. That's kind of what I'm feeling. It's going to be a very, very busy month for me. So like I say, I won't be working, but it will not be a holiday. Believe me, it will not be a holiday. This is going to be a roller coaster, I feel, but I'm going back. I'm seeing all my loved ones and and I'm finally cutting the ties and making the move. So this has been coming for a long, long time. So although it is going to be painful, it is going to be I don't know. It's gonna allow me to walk through that new door. So I'm very, very excited for it as well. So thank you all for being here. I'm going to get on now with the monthlies. I'm not going to do them live because I've been getting distracted. There's been things coming on the lives that that sort of take my energy away. They spoil the energy of the reading. So I'm going to try and, can you see that little mosquito behind me as well? I love all animals apart from mosquitoes. So they will be pre-recorded and hopefully they all go well. So they'll be up they'll be up by the time I go away. So yeah, I'm trying, my goal is to get them all done by Sunday. Okay, so thank you all. Have a fabulous, fabulous weekend, and whatever you are doing, just remember to just chill a bit. When we turn off our mind, this is when we can hear spirit speak. Okay, and our soul as well. We just need to listen. Okay, so I'm sending lots and lots of love, and there you go. There's Flyer. Satnam.